Sean?
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, man.
How are you?
I'm Colorado Springs as an assisted living. I'm living in an assisted living right now because I was struggling. I was homeless and I have mental illness and stuff like that. So I'm just at assisted living. I know.
Yeah, schizophrenia is a bitch, isn't it? I'm sorry I wasn't able to be there for you, you know?
No, it's alright, man. People can only do so much, you know? People can only do so much for you. You gotta eventually reach out on your own, you know?
Well, I was able to get me some assisted living, but I lost all of that because Natalie died. Because I believe some people do
I
what?
heard about that. We talked about this about 5 months ago or something. About half a year ago.
Yep. I still don't get to go to Colorado because of that. The police did a lot of really fucked up shit.
Yeah, border police are really aggressive. But I guess that's also because the craziest people come out of Boulder. You know what I mean?
They make people crazy. I mean, with you, it was pre-existing, but there's a lot of other people, like Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, you know, he started going to dress and talking all sorts of craziness.
Do what? Did you know that I actually met my dad? I met my biological dad.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Italian. He's from Chicago. He lives in Chicago.
But he was in, like, county jail or just...
Wait, what?
You said you met him in county. Do you mean, like, county jail?
No, I met my father, my biological father in real life. Like, I met his daughter, my half sister, found me on Facebook because I was going with the last name Reno.
Very cool. Do you like him? He's what?
Chicago Italian, you know what I mean? The Italian guy, he's from CA, and I was like, dude, you're tripping. I was like, dude, you're tripping. Because he has schizophrenia, he's got paranoid schizophrenia.
Yep. That tends to be something that runs in the family.
Yeah.
They tend to use the word mentally ill to try to treat everybody like they're schizophrenic, though.
Yeah, I shared that one picture of like the people that were on the Prozac and all the different shit. Like right now I'm on Wellbutrin and Seroquel and Gabapentin.
Yeah, I was on a lot of those medications. Ativan, Seroquel, Prozac. I was on a lot of them. Actually, the last ones that I was on before I quit, when I was 17, I quit taking pills December 14th, 1997. At the time, I was on...
yeah, I was a little guy. I was probably living in Scotland right at that time.
Yeah, I was on ORAP, which it's for a very specific type of schizophrenia, or Tourette's syndrome, which I have Tourette's syndrome.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that schizophrenia is very... I'm diagnosed with schizoaffective. Bipolar type, I guess.
Well, bipolar isn't the same as schizophrenic, though. That's the thing. Like, people who get into a severely overwhelming situation are often diagnosed with bipolar disorder because they're overwhelmed, you know. They're having sensory processing issues and they're trying to explain what's going on, and people don't want to listen because they just assume that they're crazy because they're hysterical at that point. Like, you remember Crystal Beauchamp?
Yeah. Wait, who?
Crystal Beauchamp. She's the girl that
Yeah,
what?
the black
The
one?
one with she was the one with the pink hair who had the baby.
Yeah, I remember her. I said that's the third one. I was with Jamie.
You know, she was pretty nice before the Boulder police got a hold of her. She was trying to turn in a Boulder police officer for raping her. And they took her in and gave her the schizophrenic treatment, gave her a chemical restraint, injected her with medications, and she really got screwed over heavy. Becky was telling me a little bit about that situation too. You know, Crystal just wanted to
You
be a
still
good
talk
mom
to
to her
Becky?
son. Do what?
You still talk to Becky? I've been kind of curious about what Becky's been up to.
I do talk to Becky, but also she's really improving her life. You know, I try not to dump on her too much of my problems, so I try not to call her too much. Mostly I try
Yeah.
to get a hold of people who can handle it, but most people can't handle it. Most people are too far removed from it, you know, and then there's selfish people like Pierre that, you know, trying to get him to help. I don't have a vagina. He's not likely to do much.
Yeah.
But last I heard, Becky
Does
was
Becky
doing
have a
pretty good.
boyfriend?
Do what?
Does Becky have a boyfriend?
I think she does. Do you want me to give her your number?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I can do that.
Alright, do that for me.
I
But
miss the shit out of
how
her.
have you been? How have you been, like, other than dealing with the it's kind of funny when I was in jail. I was in jail for 9 months in Boulder County Jail, and Boulder County is not like the typical jail now that they have, where they're like pods, you know, where like everybody's allowed to be open into the living area and like go into the rooms whenever they want.
I don't know. I
Like
didn't get
Boulder
that.
County is a little bit more stricter.
Yeah, they are. They're very controlling. It's because most of the jails in America are at 80% capacity with homeless people, and Boulder is at 91% capacity, but they're able to make that number look smaller by using people's previous address.
Well, they sent me to Fort Logan. They sent me to Fort Logan Mental Institute, and I stayed there for about 4 months.
I hated
And
that
they found
place.
me a place in Colorado Springs.
Fort Logan is the first place I ever remember being raped.
Like by a woman?
Do what?
By a woman?
No, I was raped by a man. He was actually the, you know how well, you probably weren't there as a kid. When you're in the kids portion, you have to go to classes. One of them is for sexual abuse, one of them is for domestic abuse. You know, basically where they teach you about domestic abuse and domestic assault and all that kind of stuff. It was actually one of the staff members who had done that. Well, actually, at Fort Logan, it was
Well,
it was a messed up place.
Did you hear about the chick that killed her mom or something?
The what?
The chick that killed her mom and like 8 others or something, school shooting or something like that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know. I recognized her. I was like, wow. I recognized her, you know?
Did you know Janine died?
Janine died?
She died about a month and a half ago. Yeah, she had a heart attack.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I was very handling it.
I don't know. The last I knew, they were trying to get a GoFundMe to pay for the funeral. I shared it a few times to try to get people to donate to him. It was very complicated. There was
Yeah.
There was a lot going on at the time. You remember Anna Hunka? She used to go out with Rooster.
With whom?
Rooster? The magician?
Probably. Oh, yeah, I remember her. She's really hot.
She's dead too.
She's dead too?
She's dead too.
What the hell? You know, I've actually had, like, memories of these people, like, randomly, and, like, over the past, like, few weeks, and, like, memories of them, and specifically them, you know, and then I'm like, yeah, right, like, whatever, it's just something that's going on, and then I'm like, wow, now hearing this is a lot to swallow right now.
It is.
This is intense.
So, how's the assisted living? Is it pretty nice? Are they treating you good?
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. Yeah, they like clean our rooms for us and like clean our bedding and stuff like that once a week. And there's pretty cool people here. You know what I mean? Like no one's like too rowdy or anything like that. Everybody's got mental illness, but like we're kind. You know. We're not like too crazy, you know. Not like we have mental illness, but we're not crazy in a negative way.
Right.
You know. Yeah, so it's pretty chill. They're called assisted living at the Spring.
Well, I'm glad they helped you.
God put me here, dude.
Do
I'm
what?
pretty sure God put me here, dude. He's like, I'm guiding your ass away from all this chaos, and you're gonna look like your life now.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good.
Yeah. It definitely, I ran into a woman in Charlotte, and I absolutely loved her. I think I told you about her last time I talked to you, but, I kept on accusing her of cheating on me, and it's what I do with Becky, it's what I do with Jamie. It's obviously something that I have a problem with, women being untrustful and sneaky and shit. And I get in the groove of that, and I obviously just like ruin a relationship, you know. So I ruined a relationship because of my paranoia.
Yes, sir. I've been getting paranoid recently too, but it's different for me because the stuff that I'm paranoid of is stuff that actually happened. Like there's a lot of stuff that
I thought that Roger was gonna like come up with I'm pretty sure they have some kind of crazy chemical that can make people go crazy and eat people and shit.
Yeah, they call it a chemical restraint. They use it on you when you try to turn in the police.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that stuff, but I was paranoid about that for a while. And then I've been kind of stuck with I've been abusing 3 drugs lately, and it's been I like them because I was on Ritalin when I was a child, and Ritalin is synthetic meth. You know?
I was on Ritalin too.
Yeah, I was on Ritalin as a child, so basically, like me smoking meth is not that big a deal. But I'm making sure I don't scratch my face off or do anything crazy like that. I don't smoke that much. I just smoke enough to like get my mind in the right space and then tweak it up. You know what I mean? Tweak the. That's why I like it. But and then dextromethorphan, which is cough medicine. I've abused cough medicine. I actually just used cough medicine a couple nights ago.
It's tough to stay off that stuff. I got lucky.
DXM. It's called DXM.
I never really got into any of that.
And then marijuana. That's why I was just messed cough medicine and marijuana. But I actually have access to it here. There's a couple of people that do it here. So I just kind of,
Well, the
you know,
marijuana's
that,
not so bad, but that cough syrup will mess your head up. And that meth,
well, if you're not powerful enough, if you're not powerful enough to handle it, if you don't, I'm actually powerful enough to actually feel the waves and shit, but I'm not going to do it for a while. I'm not going to do it for a long time. When I do it like 3 or 4 days in a row whenever I need like a major tweak in my mind. And then like just, it's a huge wave. And then I come down like, wow, that's all the shit that I've been doing, you know?
well, I can't say that I know. I never really got into that. Like, I did meth for about 30 days when I lived in Nebraska. I lived with some friends of mine. They did meth, and they wouldn't be my friend unless I was doing it.
I have a cousin in Nebraska named Rachel Descent. Have you ever heard of the Descent family?